If you're seeing this, then welcome to your new moon in Cancer tarot reading. My name is Lara. Welcome, welcome. If you are new, welcome. If you are not so new, I am so happy to have you with us. Today, we're doing things a little bit differently. Because honestly, like new moons have always been, what the moon is important to me, but like new moons specifically. And so what I'm doing is I'm doing a little collection of tarot readings for the different elements of the zodiac sign. So if you're seeing this is our water sign reading, water signs being our Cancer, Cancer season, Cancer, Scorpio, and oh my God, am I forgetting what the other one is? Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Hello. Oh my God. Yo. Pisces, our little dreamer. So anyway, so if you're here and you're seeing this reading, you are resonating with that energy in some capacity. Probably, maybe it probably, or maybe, or whatever. It doesn't have to be, but possibly it is one of your big three: sun, moon, rising. It could really be any of your placements, planetary placements, house placements, or maybe you're just drawn to watery energy right now because we are in Cancer season, which is a water element season. So honestly, it doesn't matter. You are here for a reason. These messages are here for you to hear. And you know what's best for you. So take what makes sense. Let go of anything that doesn't. Get curious about where you're resistant. You know. Somewhere in there, you know. And yes, this is a general reading. So this is a general reading for Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. General readings. So these may not be super specific to your circumstance, but we will be dealing with the energy and the themes, which can manifest in a bunch of different ways for a bunch of different people, and even for the same person, it can be manifesting in a bunch of different ways. So, so you'll know if it makes sense to you. You'll know. Yes. So we're going to be switching things up today as well. I've got a couple different oracle decks that I'm using today, just to kind of like break it up. And then we're gonna pull one of our oracles to catch our vibe. We'll dive in with the tarot, and then we'll round it out with another moon oracle for us. And yeah, hopefully we learn a little something along the way. Is that all I need to say to preface? Oh, yes. Okay, so we're using different decks, but also I'm trying a new tarot spread. So normally when I read tarot, I just let the cards fall and then like make sense of them. If you've ever seen one of my Tarot Tuesday readings, that's sort of the vibe. But I'm going to actually be focused on what our focus is for this new moon. So we are here at this new moon in Cancer, and whether or not you're seeing this under the full moon, again, this doesn't matter. Time's not linear, blah, 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 blah. But we are here under the full moon in Cancer. And we're going to pull some cards to take a look at what our focus is under this new moon. And let that be revealed to us by the universe. So I hope you're excited. I'm excited. Let me go ahead. I'm going to grab our first oracle deck. This is the Dragon Path. Really, really beautiful dragons to play with here. And we're just going to ask the universe for some clear and concise messages, but what dragon energy is here to help us catch a vibe on our reading today for my water signs? What dragon do we have here guiding our water signs under, oh, there you are, under this new moon? Thanks, darling. Okay, great. Who do we got? Ooh, excuse me. Emergence. So already this is giving me like literally coming out of your shell. Oh my God, also Cancer season. Cancer is the crab, right? And the crab, you know, hard shell on the outside, soft inside. Honestly, like as far as like being in Cancer season right now, I know I have been like just all of the tears and outrageously irritable, crabby, if you will. But crabs, and maybe I'm thinking more of a hermit crab, but I'm pretty sure crabs molt their shell. I'm specifically looking at you, Cancer signs, but I'm seeing this for all of you. This egg here too looks like it's in like a little sparkly lake. So we've got our water representing here for us. Emergence, coming out of a shell, stepping out into the world. Have you been cocooned away? Is that what it's been? It's time to come out and play. All right, but let me read from this little guidebook here. This is also the dragon on the front. What we got? Here we go. Emergence. Sometimes, as spiritual beings, we find our human experience on earth can be quite tough. Oh. Listen to the wisdom of emergence as he says, it's time to reflect. You need to take stock of what you value and what is important to you. I gotta turn the page, hang on. Contemplation and quietness are required. Your experiences may have been vexing. It is unwise to dwell on them, but you can learn from them. Understand those you need to remember and let all others go. From this place, a new, vibrant you can emerge. Okay. But first, you must allow yourself time to reflect, go within to that inner place of peace, and bring forth that which you wish to be. So that is also super appropriate because new moons are all about clearing away and getting really clear on what you want to bring forward in the next chapter, right? The new moon is the beginning of the lunar cycle. This dragon appears when we need to take a long, hard look at ourselves and how we live, what we do, and more harshly, our behavior. Uh-oh. None of the dragons are a pushover. They all demand that we take stock of ourselves, stop kidding ourselves, and are openly honest. And emergence is no different. He gets straight to the nitty-gritty and informs you that you are responsible for your life, your behavior and your experiences, and more importantly, how you react to them. Grit and determination are the order of the day when this powerful dragon finds his way into your cards. He finishes with, remember you are safe with me. Your fears are nothing but paper tigers and figments of your imagination. Allow me to guide you as you find your balance and carve a new path. Wow. Okay, so I'm feeling like really my water signs are stepping out from this place of really looking at your life, how your behavior is aligned with the life that you want, and I also am feeling like you've probably been going head to head with a lot of fear lately, which, listen, in this world, I think a lot of us are doing that, you know, whether we want to or not. But I'm really feeling that you have on purpose been addressing these things. You have made the decision to take responsibility for your life. And in this reflective phase, whether or not you're there already, if you are in this reflective phase, things are coming out, things are coming to light. If you have been in this reflective phase, it's time for you to come out. A lot of times, like when we get reflective, we sort of, you know, we go within. I'm reminded of the Hermit card right now. Hermit crabs, Cancer season. Okay. Very, very interesting. Let's keep going. I'm going to pull out our tarot and we're going to get 3 cards to show us what our focus is, and a little bit of insight on what can be released and what is coming in for us. So could I please, if you would be so kind as to give us 3, there's 2 right there, thank you, 3 cards with a clear and concise message on what it is, there we go, that our water signs are focusing on. Thank you so much, girl. All right, let's keep it moving. Okay, is this gonna make sense? Wow. All right. Let me just take a pause really quick because I need to talk to the cards for a second, but I'm going to be right back. Okay. Are you ready? I'm ready. All right. We're going to start where we always start, at the bottom of the deck with our shadow card. And what we have is the 9 of Pentacles. This is one of my favorite cards. I love this card. This card represents independence. It represents abundance. You know, this person has worked for everything that she has, and she is able to live a life of comfort independently, like not needing anything else, not needing anyone else. So there's a really strong desire for this sense of independence for you, which is fascinating because underneath that we have the 2 of Cups, which is like relationships, whether this is romantic or not. I think it's so interesting. It's partnerships, right? So partnerships, but I think it's so interesting to have these 2 so close together. So I feel like there's some sort of like conflict. I was going to say battle, but battle feels too strong. Some sort of conflict between your sense of independence and your connecting into your relationships. And then with the Three of Swords in reverse, the Three of Swords is all about broadening horizons. So I feel like this inner conflict for you has really sort of made things very unclear at this time. Maybe there is made things really unclear, made your path forward really unclear. I'm picking up, maybe you're, because with the emergence card and taking responsibility for your life, which is a very Nine of Pentacles thing to do, and looking at your behaviors, maybe there's some codependency that you've been struggling with. Dependence on other people. Maybe you think you can't actually do it on your own, that you think you need other people. Okay, let's keep going. I could see this as like very generally speaking, you know, that it could be applied to any kind of specific situation, but I feel like it may be more specific than that, that this may be about relationship dynamics for you. And maybe you're struggling to find your sense of self in these relationships where you have found yourself just getting completely like entangled. All right, let's keep going. Because we also have some cards on the table for us, and the cards on the table, what's come out for our focus is the Page of Swords. And I had to talk to the cards for a little bit because they came out and I was like, all right, I need to know who goes where. But this is our focus. So I feel like you've been living in a lot of confusion. Not knowing, maybe you're getting a lot of mixed messages. Ooh. Yeah, because with the Page of Swords, we're talking about communication, messages, maybe there's some direction that you started in that you're like, I don't know why I started off in this direction, because pages do represent beginnings, something new. But I'm picking up on that sense of confusion. So underneath this new moon, this is what's going to be highlighted. What's confusing you? Maybe you're overthinking the messages that you're getting. So that's our focus. What we have has a gift to receive at this time. Underneath this moon, we have the Magician. With this card, the Emergence card, I really am feeling like this is taking back your power, taking back your sense of autonomy, independence. You don't understand your own power, do you? The gift here is realizing that you are more in control of what's going on around you than either you want to admit, or you're giving yourself credit for, or maybe you just can't see it because you're so confused. But the gift that's coming for you to be received is your power. You see this energy that's coming, right? You know, I mean, and it's twofold, but you see sort of, almost see a little infinity symbol. going out and coming in, like your connection to your power, to your magic, is the gift that's here for you under this new moon. Emerging as your truly magnificent, powerful, magical self. That feels big. The thing about the magician too is that, like, the magician already has everything they need, and they understand that. Whether or not the outside, the external realm is reflecting that, a magician is in tune with the elements, is connected, and already has everything that they need. And the reality is that you don't need much, right? A lot of people want to get on like, oh, like you need to do, like you see like little spell videos or whatever, or like use these herbs and do this spell and blah, 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 blah. I have heard it said to me before, you should be able to be dropped off in the jungle naked with nothing on you and be able to do magic. You just are magic. You don't need all the bells and whistles. And maybe that's where some of the confusion has come from. But I think you're really going to start to see your power is coming back to you. Any energy that you gave away by getting tangled, now is a good time to work on calling all of that back. Calling back your power clean and pure. Come on home. Home is another big theme of Cancer season. But let's keep going. Then we have the gift for you to give under this new moon. Because don't you think for a second that there's not something to give up in order to get all of this, all right? And what is that? Well, we've got the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is self-limiting beliefs, the ways in which we keep ourselves tied up. This is not an accurate reflection of what's happening. Maybe you're struggling with a lot of intrusive thoughts, again, because we have the confusion. This makes sense. I feel like you are very much in your head about all of this. You are a lot more powerful than you realize. You have a lot more agency in this situation. And maybe you don't want to admit that. Okay? But if you can admit that, it's time to give that up. Because this is not the truth. Right? Shh, this person's fine. Taking responsibility for the ways in which we tangle ourselves up. What a great gift to give to the universe under the moon. Fascinating. Okay, I'm going to pull one more card for us. This is a card from the moon deck because it's a new moon. So this, I think, will give us a little bit more insight into what our focus is, what we're receiving, and what we are gifting away. So can we have one of our moon cards? Hello. Wow. Okay. If I didn't think it was about codependency before, I definitely think it's about codependency now, because your card is healthy boundaries keep me centered and balanced. So what are you doing, physically doing? Not just like trying to think your way. First of all, if you're trying to think your way out of something, you're mixing, the messages are all mixed up because you're in your head and you're all tied up about it. What are you physically doing? What embodiment practices are you working on to bring yourself back to your center? Let's read what the little book has to say. Healthy boundaries keep me centered and balanced. Setting healthy boundaries is essential for our physical and emotional well-being. We each have a need to care for our unique nature, enforce certain limits, and maintain self-respect. Especially water energy. Hello, I just saw 2626 on the timer, but especially water energy is very fluid energy. Okay. How are you containing yourself? Or are you letting yourself get enmeshed in relationships, in situations where you really need to be focusing on your autonomy? Let me keep going. Setting healthy boundaries, blah, blah, blah. We each have a need to care for our nature, enforce limits. Did I read that? We each have a need to care for our unique nature, enforce certain limits, and maintain self-respect. Tune into your central power source as you create and relate to the world with healthy boundaries. When your boundaries are too weak, you may give away too much, let too much in, or set yourself up for unhealthy dependency. If your boundaries are too rigid or thorny, you can become tense and isolated. Either extreme can be physically and emotionally painful over time. Recognize habits that drain your energy and discover this tender balance for yourself. The positive impact of healthy, clear boundaries will ripple into every aspect of your life. And so this little booklet, what I like about this is that this guidebook also comes with like a little ritual thing here. And it's interesting because we also had this message for fire signs, but in kind of a different way. But like at the core of this is kind of the same, because here we have an aura cleansing. And you need to cleanse that energy before you start calling that power back home. Because if your power is tangled up in other people, places, things, it's just going to muck the whole thing up. So what practices are you or can you begin implementing? Aura cleansing, cord cutting, chakra healings. Right? Clear it out. And that's, new moons really ask us to get clear before we're setting new intentions. Especially if you're all tangled up in other things, like you can't see what it is that you even want to manifest for yourself. Because of this lack of clarity. So in order for you to get clear, right? I have a feeling you've been feeling confused. So in order for you to get clear under this new moon, really focus on cleansing, clearing. If you are a bath person, like a spiritual bath, you can do spiritual showers as well. This could also be a good time. This could also be a good time for you to make some moon water. So put some water out under the new moon, and let that water charge overnight. You can use that water then, like in your bath. You can use it to I'll make face spray sometimes. Or like in your shower, you just dump some of that over your head and charge it with the intention that this cleanses and clears your aura and your energy so that you can see clearly. That may be something good for you at this time. But also, no, you don't have to get that fancy, right? Because we talked about that. Like, you don't necessarily need all that. The tools help, right? Because it sends these messages into our subconscious. That's what ritual does for us. But you can also be using meditations, okay? But I'm really feeling like some spiritual bath or shower, or like something with the water, cleansing, clearing, getting out of your head. Do less. All right? And that's what I've got for you, my beautiful water signs. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if it was. You know what to do. You can leave a comment. Also, if you enjoyed this, you can like it and share it and all of those amazing things. And I love you forever for that. And yes, I am rooting for you. Take it easy on yourself, right? I think the first thing I do when I'm confused is I start beating myself up, and you definitely don't need to be doing that because you're already doing enough of that. That's done. You can just give that away. If you are curious on how to connect with me or work with me, I have all of that information that's going to be down below in the description box. And yeah, this was your reading. I hope that it was helpful. And with all of that being said, I will see you on the other side.